I think we need more thinking.
It was the first Cup game in the Mile High City, taking on the Golden State Warriors. What happened? Let's find out. You're listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about the Nuggets with good vibes. Let's get it.
Let's try to get healthy. Let's stay together. And if we can do that, we put ourselves in a good situation.
How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. And yes, I do have a take for this game tonight because I did get to see it on Prime. Luckily, I do have a subscription to Amazon Prime, so even though this was a game against the Golden State Warriors, I still was able to see it because of Prime. Prime saved the day right now. So I guess I'm not 100% against this whole new system of playing. As long if it does anything good, it's the fact that it takes away games from the NBC Bay Area. So that's good. I like that. Can we have more of those kind of games? I think we might have one more coming up here soon against the Sacramento Kings. I believe that's a Peacock game. If it is, please let it be a Peacock game and I can get it. Otherwise, the NBC is going to steal that one from me as well. So I'm going to have to find another way to see that game. But that's later on. We're talking about now. Tonight was the second Cup game for the Nuggets as they were taking on the Golden State Warriors for their first Cup game. Curry and Milton were both ruled out, while Draymond and Butler, as well as Horford, were all on the probable list. Those three would actually play. Curry and Milton wouldn't. Curry apparently is sick with some kind of illness, so he's definitely out for a little while. Kind of actually a bummer, because he definitely makes the games just a little bit more intense, but at the same time, kind of selfishly, I'm kind of glad that he wasn't there because it did give the Nuggets a little bit of advantage. So, the Nuggets only had Zeke Naji on the probable list, even though he would actually play in the game. I didn't expect him to play at all. I didn't think that the Nuggets would play more than a 9-man rotation on this game, especially because it's Cup and point differentials matter. And our bench, our deep bench, not so good. We have lost so many good leads, and that point differential is crucial in moving forward in this whatever Cup, the little fun thing that Adam Silver wants us to do that's not really so fun and is kind of dumb, but oh well, we're in it. So we're in it, might as well get into it 100%. So now, interestingly enough, going into this game, the Warriors were coming in having lost the previous 4 road games. The Nuggets have a 4-0 win streak at home. And so that would tell you a lot of what this game would be like already. And kind of, you kind of already did feel like that. The Nuggets were playing their regular starters, which was actually surprising to me. I thought that Jamal and Cam would be on the injured list, and luckily, thank God they weren't. Hopefully that's true. So Jamal, Cam Johnson, CB, and AG all played. They all started. Nuggets were wearing their mile-high blue jerseys, those, bright blue jerseys, as well as Warriors were playing with their white jerseys. And the Nuggets got the W. Let's go. 129 to 104, a near Munder. Just 5 points away from a Munder. And you understand why that happened, right? Because unfortunately, we played more than a 9-man rotation, and some of those deep bench people that we are going to get into in the fourth quarter when I go over it obviously lost us some points there. So the side note I just wanted to kind of go back to before I get into the game is that, Wednesday. So Wednesday, I know this is probably a while ago for all of you, but I was so distracted with the Nuggets game, I paid zero attention to the OKC in Portland for the against the Trailblazers game, which was the first loss for OKC. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is that this was a close game, and I actually watched it. As soon as I saw that they lost to Portland, I went back and I watched the game. From the first quarter, you would not have guessed that Portland was going to win that game. The first quarter ended more than 20-point lead for OKC, and somehow they managed to battle back from that. I mean, anyone else, any other team, you could say, okay, yeah, battling back from a 20-point deficit, in the beginning of the quarter or in the game, that seems reasonable and everything. But with OKC and their favorable whistle, Portland managed to battle back and win by 2 points. They were actually up more than that at the end of the fourth, and then they allowed the Thunder to kind of claw back, and it came down, and this is the main reason why I'm talking about this, it came down to free throws. Now, for me, watching this, I just thought it was kind of a little bit poetic in more than one way. The fact that it came down to free throws in an OKC game, and it came down to free throws in a Trailblazers game. All the Trailblazers fans and the play-by-play analysis guys and everything were all upset at the end when OKC went to the line and could have won or at least tied the game from free throws. Pretty much ignoring last week when the Nuggets were there and had the game in the bag and then went to the line with free throws to lose the game on some bullshit call. And I kid you not, the exact same call was called in this game against Portland. Like, how much more poetic can you get against that? Like, Portland at least lucked out here and still won the game, but that was kind of funny. And at the same time, like, how is it constantly getting to that point with that team? And I mean, I give Portland a lot of props for this year. I was giving them props before the year even started, but at the same time, this is why I don't have them in the top four. They're eking out wins by, I mean, obviously, again, OKC is unfortunately a great team. Nuggets are a great team. So you win two big wins against two great teams, and they're both down to the wire. I mean, I would still argue that win they got against the Nuggets was very controversial. I'll just say that much. I know that I could have a little bit of bias being that I am a Nuggets fan, but just watching it like blatantly for black and white, there was like no reason to call a jump ball when Kamara wraps his arms around Jokic, and somehow the officials are saying that that's a legal move. I would like to see it done again and then make the same call, because if they don't, which I have a pretty strong feeling that they won't, I mean, that just needs to be raised for sure. 100% that needs to be raised. So, but, props to Portland for being the first ones to defeat OKC. No one would have saw this 2 years ago, even a year ago. I mean, Portland didn't even make the playoffs this last season. So that says a lot. And I kind of felt like they were going to be a much better force. I didn't actually think they would be this good out of the gate, but again, we are only like 8-9 games into the season, so there's still way more games and way more chances for them to fail. So in this game here, let's get into the first quarter here, break it down for you. Warriors won the tip, and immediately Draymond sinks a three out of the corner pocket for the first bucket of the game. Now, keep that in mind when I'm reading this off to you, because it's not the last time it happens. Nugs then get on a shot clock violation and turn the ball over. Not a great start for the Nuggets. Finally, AG knocks down a 3 at the top of the key, ties the game, and then Jokic to CB connection for back-to-back layups. Like the exact same play worked twice and led to a 4-point lead for the Nuggets. Murray then sinks a 3 and forces Kerr to take a timeout. First bucket from Jokic comes off an assist from Cam Johnson, which was awesome. I mean, I'll read the stats later. Obviously, if you watch my show, you already know that I'll read it off later. But I just wanted to preface right quick. Cam got 0 points tonight, and yet he still had an impact. And there's a lot of Cam haters right now, or previously MPJ lovers who are still frustrated that Cam's on there. I can definitely be slightly one of those. I know at my last video I even talked about that, but I give Cam props. I have not been completely hater on him, saying that he needs to be off the team, trade him or whatever. I will not do that because I want to uplift the players that are on our team or on the Nuggets. And so I just want him to do well. And I think that right now there's too much pressure on him being a starter that I feel like it might be a good thing to just bench him for a little bit. If nothing else, maybe just play him less minutes. I can go for less minutes, still start him, but maybe instead of 20 some minutes, you're paying him more like 16, 17 minutes. And you're playing Tim Hardaway Jr. more because Tim Hardaway Jr. did make buckets tonight. Once again. So the streak has not ended yet. And I mean, I don't know if I want it to end because we are winning in this kind of mode. And with Cam dropping buckets, it would be huge for us. But is there going to be a cost at it? Are we going to flip? And Tim Hardaway Jr. is not going to be good. And right now, I think we can eke by, or we can get by without Cam making buckets. Like Aaron Gordon's phenomenal right now. Murray's phenomenal. Obviously, Jokic is phenomenal. Christian Brown has been getting better. And so if they're all doing good and we only have one starter who can't really make buckets, but our bench is making buckets, I am way more okay with that. So, a give and take, I would rather have him not be making buckets and the bench be making buckets 100%. 100%. So, and so he assists Jokic for his first bucket of the game, Jokic's first bucket. And then Nuggets go up by 12 off of Nugg's bully ball on Warriors with consecutive steals. It was great to see. It was phenomenal. If you remember, our season started off with a loss to Golden State in overtime. I was there. I was covering the game, if you remember. So this right here was perfect vindication. Like the greatest kind of, rebuttal to that. Like that was a fluke win you all got. Now we're in the real season right here. If we went back, I'm pretty sure the Nuggets would win. So they go up by 12. And then Jokic lobs it up for AG that looked tough. It looked so tough. I think AG jumped a little too early, and yet he still gets the dunk. Phenomenal. Like AG, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but it really feels like AG is still hurting. And I think that they, if I remember correctly, in this game, they showed a little bit of the mic'd up scenes, and they had AG mic'd up, and he was talking to, I think, another coach or an older coach or whatever, or a former player, and he was telling him that he's hurting a little, like 17% of the time. And he's not 100%. That just right there told me that he's not 100%. And you can see it in the way that he's playing. He is, just the way that he jumps and the way that he lands is not the same as the way he even did it last season. So he is definitely hurting, and he is protecting himself on the way he's landing or jumping. And it kind of looks like his hip is bothering him. But I know that it's not. It's his legs. But the way that he's jumping and landing down, I worry for his hip. Like it looks like it's going to be bad later on, though. He still makes the dunk. Then Warriors go on a 7-0 run before Jokic drains a 3 and extends the lead back to 10. AG then gets a 3, but a near buzzer beater from post drains a 3. And then Nuggets can't rebuttal with anything else. The Nuggets still win the first quarter 32-21. Dominant 11-point win there. And then the second quarter happens, which is obviously always our where the Nuggets clench their teeth. So we got our non-Jokic minutes. The Nugs started off the quarter with Brucey B, Tim Hardaway Jr., Peyton Watson, Big Val, Jamal, and PWat. As PWat drives to the rim and misses the layup. Draymond in the same spot, literally the same spot that he did in the start of the game, knocks down another freaking 3 to start the quarter off. So he got the first bucket of the first quarter of the game in a 3 in a corner. And then in the second quarter, he gets the exact same 3 to start the quarter off. There's a little bit, and he was feeling it too. He was letting the crowd know, as Draymond does. And so Warriors start off with a 10-0 run to make it a 1-point game from a post 3. That was the final bucket that they got to bring it to a 1-point game. And that is the closest that they would be the entire game. Because then they take a timeout. And to be honest with y'all, Murray wasn't great in the first quarter. PWat wasn't great in the first quarter. They both were not great in these first minutes. As soon as they took the timeout, completely different game. Completely different Murray, completely different Peyton Watson. It's almost like they had their orange slices ready to go, or I don't know, smelling salts or something. I don't know, but it was a completely different Nuggets bench in there with Murray. And so then out of the timeout, Murray drains a 3. Murray hits another 3 following that to extend the lead back to 7. And then followed by Big Val hitting a wide open 3. No one was even guarding him. I get on the Nuggets when they leave someone open, even if there's a chance that they're going to miss. But now to see it done with the Nuggets and the Nuggets getting left open and punishing the other team, I absolutely love that. So Big Val hits a wide open 3. Nugs bench able to get the lead back to 11. So they lost that lead of 11. Then they gained it back. And then more, because CB then checks in. He knocks down a 3 to extend it back to 14. And then Big Val drains yet another uncontested 3 to get the Nuggets first to 50. Yoke then finally checks back in at the 4:16 mark. And the craziest thing with this was probably the craziest altercation the entire game. Because as soon as they're trying to get Yoke in at the 4:16 mark, and all of a sudden, and the ball is dead, mind you. The ball is dead, and it's the perfect time to check in a player. Adelman wants to sub in Jokic, and Kerr, I kid you not, throws a huge tantrum. He didn't want Yoke to check in, and so he throws a tantrum. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't want Yoke to check in too if I was Steve Kerr, but you can't do anything about it. He's going to check in, and you're going to deal with it. And so that's kind of what happened. But still, the fact that Steve Kerr threw that big of a tantrum, stop it. You are an NBA champion, an NBA coach champion. You are better than throwing a tantrum when some guy who is constantly beating you checks back in. Michael Jordan would not be doing that. And your former teammate would not be doing that. Stop it, Steve Kerr. That was stupid. So, but yeah, I just had to put that down. He threw a huge tantrum. And so Murray then reads the offense, gets the steal, and gets a pull-up 3. Amazing. Amazing response, too, to the Steve Kerr tantrum. So then Murray then hits another 3 off of one leg for 19 points before the half. Yoke then drains a spot-up 3. The Nuggets were just all of a sudden raining it down from 3. It was so fun to watch, especially against that team. The team that has the best shooter in the game, Steph Curry, Like, come on, that was really fun. So the shots are falling down. Nuggets win the second, 34-28. Nuggets on top going into the half, 66-49. We won the first half. Like, come on, let's go. We didn't lose the second quarter this time. Third quarter, the Nuggets start off with their starters, and CB isn't able to complete a drive to the rim, leads to a three from Draymond once again. Obviously, they switch sides of the courts, because it's the second half now. So they switch sides, and Draymond sinks another three to start the quarter off. He started each of the first three quarters off with a three. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. That's crazy. AG then gets the Nuggets on the board with a pair of free throws. And then Draymond gets another three to fall in. Like, if you were to ask me before the game who's going to be the leading scorer for the Warriors, I would not have guessed Draymond Green. And yet he was the leading scorer with 17 points. And most of them from three. Like, he is not the best three-point shooter, but when he hits it, he is definitely on. Like, you got a problem if he starts making threes, and he was making them tonight. Though we didn't really have a problem because we were still up by 20. Finally, AG from the corner nails a three, his third 4 attempts, or his third bucket to get in out of 4 attempts. And Jokic then takes over, scoring for the Nuggets and keeping a 15-point lead. AG with a double. This is the best play of the night right here. AG with a double crossover, drives to the rim for a slam dunk. Like, he posterized post. And I love when he does it, because he did this again before last season. And on the other game that I was covering, the one that didn't have Jokic, Murray, or CB playing, and he went for 30 plus. And in that game, he also posterized post. Like, he just loves playing the Warriors, I feel like AG does. Watch the highlight. I highly recommend watching that highlight. That was such a fun highlight. Like, he took it to the rim and just dominated. Jamal, with a ball fake, drives to the rim for a reverse layup, gets the lead to 18. That was also a tough bucket and amazing to watch. And then, and who says the Nuggets aren't fun to watch? Like, come on, you are not watching the Nuggets then if you say that they're not fun to watch, because that was fun as hell to watch. AG with the double crossover and then the slam. Jamal with the ball fake and then drives to the rim for a reverse layup. Like, come on. Tim Hardaway Jr. then long passes it down to Brucey B for a layup on the lead to 20 points. And then final seconds of the quarter, PWat blocks Cam Spencer's shot, leads to a fast break layup, and is fouled by Draymond. Amazing stuff from Peyton Watson. Nuggets then win the third quarter, 33-31. So we won all 3 quarters so far. Now we're into the last quarter. Nuggets start off the quarter with a lineup of Big Val, PWat, Tim Hardaway Jr., Brucey B, Jamal, and immediately Moody. Actually, there was an attempt by the Golden State Warriors to get a bucket. They don't. And then on the other end, the Nuggets aren't able to get a bucket in. And so then goes back to the Warriors side, and Moody off of one leg gets a first bucket to fall into the hoop there for the quarter. Big Val goes to the line, makes both free throws to get Nuggets first to 100 and get them on the board for the quarter. And then amazing play by PWat here as he steals the ball, leads the fast break there, hits it over to Jamal. Jamal back to PWat and gets a huge layup. Then immediately after that, Jamal feeds him the bucket, the ball again. PWat sinks it down for a 3 ball. 5 straight points from PWat. Amazing play. And this was completely different than the start of the game. Like, you were actually wondering what was going on with PWat because he looked like he was off. And then all of a sudden he just flipped it. Jamal is subbed out and the Warriors are able to chip the lead down. Because, of course, You don't have Jokic. Jokic didn't play the fourth quarter at all. And then you don't have Jamal anymore. And those are our two biggest scorers. And you take them out and you open up a gate or a window for the Warriors to come in and steal a little bit of more points here. Nuggets looking sloppy, but luckily Big Val gets a sky hook to drain. And then followed by a three from Tim Hardaway Jr., Nuggets, without Jamal or Jokic, struggled to make any improvement offensively. And then good first possession as Zeke Naji checks in, and then his first possession knocks down a three. As soon as Zeke comes in, it's always that moment where you're like, oh God, we're going to lose some points here. And then when he drains a three and totally surprises you, I love it. And so then Strother in the garbage minutes is kind of holding the team together. Zeke off an assist by Pickett, muscles up a layup, gets fouled, but misses the and one. And so then Pickett keeps on collecting the defensive rebounds. I was noticing this. Every time the ball would go into his little corner that he was kind of covering, he would grab the ball immediately and then booty ball it to seal the rebound there. And he saved the Nuggets from a lot of second chance points from the Warriors that could have happened from that. It was a great play that I just needed to call out there from Pickett. And then Hunter checks in and he does Hunter things, misses a three that I'm sure he thought was going to go in. He kind of is like a little bit of helter-skelter out there, just Leroy Jenkins it up and down the court. And so we had a bigger lead than we did, but we ended up with a decent lead. The Nuggets win the fourth quarter, 30-27, making it all four quarters that we won. Then the Nuggets win their first NBA Cup game of this season, 129-104 final score. Let's go Nuggets. Let me know in the chat, what do you think of this game? So phenomenal. How are you feeling? Let me know how you're feeling right now, because this was a great, good win, a good feel win. And so, and it's not over yet. We have another game tomorrow. This is the first game of a back-to-back. Last season, if you remember, the Nuggets were the best team in the league on the second day of a back-to-back. We'll see if that's true now. That this is our first back-to-back of the season. So we'll see now if that stays true to this season as we're taking on the Pacers. That's a really soft ball to get for your first back-to-back. That's a super soft ball. So hopefully they can stick it. But the Pacers did also give the Warriors a loss. So there is, still some fight. And the one thing that I have learned, and I think all of us have learned, is that you can never doubt the game, especially when you got swept by the Wizards last season and should have won games. This is another should win game. And if the Nuggets at least do what they're supposed to do, they should win the game, and we'll see tomorrow. But this is a softball, but they still got to attack it like they're facing OKC. This is it's a good opportunity to go on a 5-game win streak. So then stats here. So I actually just wanted to real quick. I have the official scores report here, and so actually, first I'll go over Cam Johnson, or actually the individual stats here. So the Cam Johnson played 25 minutes tonight. He had 0 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 1 steal. So he was playing a lot of good defense tonight. That's something that I think is a little overrated right now, or underrated from a lot of the haters out there. They're not focusing so much on the other side of the impact that he's doing. They're only focusing on the point-wise. And if you were to take him right now, and Michael Porter Jr. from last season, like, he is playing so much better defense than Michael Porter Jr. did. If you remember, Michael Porter Jr. would do nothing but ball watch as his defense. And then when he got the rock, sometimes he would knock it down and get, a 20-point game, 30-point game. That happens so seldomly, though. And so right now, like, defense is especially what we need, and that's kind of what he's giving us. And again, like I said before, he may not be making shots, but he is impacting on the game on the other end, and we don't really need him as much right now to be making shots. We need him to be focusing on that confidence level. Meanwhile, the rest of the team has it. we got it. We racked up 129 points tonight without his shooting, so they're fine offensively. And once that happens, it's going to be even better. So I'm not worried about that. But he was 0 for 3 in field, 0 for 2 in 3. He had 0 turnovers. That's another big thing. 0 turnovers is phenomenal compared to the turnovers that MPJ would give. He had 1 personal foul. He was a plus 25. So when he was on the court, positive things were happening. He may not have been sinking buckets, but he was still making an impact to make it a positive. Aaron Gordon played 23 minutes tonight. In his 23 minutes, he made 18 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. He was 6 for 12 in field, 50%, 3 for 5 from 3, knocking it down, 3 for 4 from free throws. Missed 1, shouldn't have missed 1, but he missed it. He had 0 turnovers as well and 0 personal fouls. Let's go, AG, Mr. Nugget. He was plus 4. And then Jokic, Mr. MV3, should be NV5, played 28 minutes, not the most amount of minutes out of the Nuggets tonight. He made 26 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 of each, shy of a triple-double. He was so close. He had 1 block. He was 12 for 15 from field, 2 for 3 from 3. He didn't go to the line at all tonight. So anyone who says that he's a foul merchant, like, you all don't even watch the games that Jokic is playing. Like, he is not a foul merchant at all, by any stretch of the means too. And so he had 1 turnover, which is actually pretty good considering, if you know Jokic, 1 turnover is phenomenal for him. And then he had 2 personal fouls. He was a plus 16. Then CB, Christian Brown, played 31 minutes. He played the most amount of minutes of any Nugget tonight. He made 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. He was 4 for 11 from field, 1 for 4 from 3. He was 1 for 2 from free throws, and then he had 3 turnovers, 2 personal fouls. He was a plus 26. He was the largest plus minus of the Nuggets tonight, and he actually did have a huge impact. He was our best starter in the first quarter, actually. And then as soon as things started to go downhill and they got him back in the game in the second quarter, things started to go back up again. So he definitely had a positive impact on the game. Jamal Murray played 30 minutes, the second most amount of minutes. He had 23 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, a near double-double, 2 steals, 1 block. He was 8 for 12 from field, 5 for 7 from 3, 2 for 2 from free throws, 3 turnovers, 2 personal fouls. He was a plus 25. And then bench-wise, I just wanted to say for Valanciunas, actually, he's the one that I want to call out tonight. It says Valanciunas played 15 minutes. He had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. He was 6 for 8 from field, 2 for 3 from 3, 2 for 2 from free throws. He had 0 turnovers, 0 personal fouls. He was a plus 6. Phenomenal. So overall stats here, we had 41 rebounds to their 46, so they out-rebounded us by a little bit. We had 34 assists to their 28. We had 8 steals to their 4. We had 4 blocks to their 5. We shot 56% from field. They shot 42%. We shot 48% from 3. They shot 29%, obviously, because Curry wasn't there. And then we shot 84% from free throws. They shot 80%. We had 8 turnovers. They had 12. 8 turnovers. I love hearing that. In single digits, let's go. 15 personal fouls to their 18. And then the other stats I was going to read off from the official scorers report here that I got. The points in the paint. The Warriors had 42 points and the Nuggets had 52. So we outscored them in points in the paint by 10. And then second chance points, the Warriors got 24 to Nuggets 12. Fast break points, the Nuggets outscored the Warriors 15-7. And then the lead, there was only one lead change, and that was, at the beginning of the game. The game was tied once, and that was at the beginning of the game. Biggest lead was the Nuggets had 28 to Warriors 3. And I think that was some part in like the second or third quarter, I believe. the other thing was that so Tamar Bates, Deron Holmes, and Curtis Jones were all and Moses Brown and Kessler Edwards were all on the G League tonight, so they weren't available, which it was kind of unfortunate because I was really, really hoping that since Zignaji was on the probable list, that they wouldn't play him as the center and they would have Moses Brown come in. That didn't happen. Zignaji still played the center, but he actually did have some positive impact tonight. So good for Zeke. Zeke was actually a +3. So we had 2 minuses, and that's unfortunately Tim Hardaway Jr. and Brucey B. Those were the 2 minuses. Brucey B was a -3. Tim Hardaway Jr. was a -4. So my big takeaway is that the Nuggets are just really good right now. They're really good. I know that they have faced a lot of easy opponents right now, but they have still faced a couple of good opponents. Golden State Warriors, they might have been on a 4-game losing streak on the road, but they are still a very good team. Even, they're a much better team, I feel like, now this year without Curry than they were last year without Curry. And as soon as Curry gets healthy and is back, they're still going to be a very dominant team. So the Nuggets can turn it on, though. That's the thing that I noticed in this, is that the Nuggets can turn it on whenever they want. Jamal was in a slump in the first quarter. And then all of a sudden, in the second quarter, when they take that timeout, you saw a completely different Jamal. Same thing happened with Peyton Watson. Like a switch, just switched on. He wasn't playing well in the first. We were all wondering what's going on with him. Takes time out, flips that switch. All of a sudden, he turns into Swatson and then knocks down threes and steals and layups. Like, that's phenomenal when the Nuggets can actually turn the switch on. But it also, I would say, is don't let it get to you, because there are going to be times where they're like behind, struggling to get a bucket, and we're just going to be wondering when are they going to turn it on, because we know that they can. And I know that there's going to be a game there where we don't get it at all. And so be mindful of what we're seeing right now. This is phenomenal. This is great. And it is a great time to be a Nuggets fan. So that's pretty much all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And if you feel so gracious enough to give me a donation to help keep this thing going on, I do have a PayPal link in the description of the video, as well in the profile. So head over there. And then if you want to also follow me on X for any kind of updates like this, I highly recommend it. I won't let you down. So, but that's all I got for you tonight. You've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about the Nuggets with good vibes. We'll catch you later.